close your eyes and imagine. Your life is like a small boat floating on the river of time, where each ripple is a moment that will never return. This boat doesn't drift on its own, it is steered by you. Each action, each daily habit you perform, serves as a paddle. Some paddles are strong and rhythmic, propelling the boat forward toward the shores of peace, success, and happiness. But hidden beneath the surface are invisible rocks, negative habits. They silently slow the boat, push it backward, and sometimes even threaten to sink it in stagnation. Many of us don't realize the presence of these rocks until the boat gets stuck, unable to move forward. These seemingly harmless, repetitive habits are often the primary reasons we fail to achieve peace of mind and success in life. Today, let us uncover the hidden truths about ourselves, learn how to identify and remove these rocks, and allow your boat to glide smoothly along the river of life. This isn't just a journey to free your mind, but the first step toward living a tranquil, free, and fulfilling life. Are you ready to steer your boat toward the shores of peace? If so, let's begin. Part 1. Habits a loyal companion or an invisible enemy? Think about your daily life. From the moment you wake up, check your phone, sip your morning coffee, to how you face challenges at work and in life. All of these are the results of habits, repeated actions you perform almost without thinking. Habits are not merely actions. They are the automatic engine that drives your life. Good habits can be loyal companions, helping you achieve great goals. On the other hand, bad habits are like heavy rocks, pulling you backward and preventing you from reaching peace and success. For instance, imagine you have a habit of spending 15 minutes each morning practicing yoga or meditating. This small act not only improves your physical health, but also enhances focus and reduces stress. Meanwhile, if you begin your day by scrolling through social media, you may quickly feel lost or consumed by negativity. These habits, whether good or bad, share a common trait: repetition. Once they are engraved in your mind, they become rules that govern your life, often without you realizing it. One of the most alarming characteristics of bad habits is that they act like a downward spiral. Initially, you perform them unconsciously, overchecking your phone, eating unhealthy food, or procrastinating. Over time, they become ingrained. Feelings of guilt and self-disappointment emerge, yet you continue repeating them because change seems too difficult. Why is it so hard to change? Instant gratification. Humans are naturally drawn to things that bring immediate comfort. Bad habits like eating junk food, binge-watching television, or mindlessly scrolling social media provide short-term satisfaction but cause long-term harm. Unconscious mind. We often don't realize what we're doing. Bad habits gradually become an inseparable part of our routine, like a program running in the background of our brain. Fear of change. Changing a bad habit requires effort and discipline. Stepping out of the comfort zone is daunting, leading many to retreat into familiar patterns. The philosophy of stoicism, practiced by great thinkers like Marcus Aurelius Seneca and Epictetus, offers one of the most effective paths to escape the downward spiral of bad habits. Stoicism emphasizes that while you can't control everything in life, you can always control yourself. Core principles of Stoicism: focus on what you can control. Your habits are within your control. You can choose to act consciously instead of being driven by negative habits. Practice discipline. Discipline doesn't mean forcing yourself into a rigid framework. It's about making conscious decisions that benefit your long-term well-being. Let go of the unnecessary. Stoicism stresses letting go, not just of material possessions, but also of bad habits and negative thoughts. By letting go, you free your mind and create space for peace and meaning. Steps to replace bad habits with positive ones. Identify bad habits. You cannot change what you don't recognize. Take time to observe and list the habits that negatively impact you. Ask yourself, does this habit help me or hold me back? Why do I keep doing it? How do I feel after engaging in this habit? Set clear goals. To replace a bad habit, you need a specific goal. For example, if you want to stop eating unhealthy food, set a clear objective like, I will eat at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables daily. Create positive triggers. Every habit starts with a trigger. To build good habits, replace negative triggers with positive ones. For example, instead of keeping your phone by your bed, a trigger for mindless scrolling, place a book you enjoy. Be persistent and repeat. New habits don't form overnight. Persistently repeat the desired action daily. Over time, your brain will internalize it and turn it into an automatic behavior. Reward yourself. Whenever you successfully perform a positive action, reward yourself to reinforce the habit. The reward doesn't need to be grand. Sometimes, a simple self-praise is enough. Forgive failures. Change is rarely linear. Learn to forgive yourself for slip-ups and continue striving instead of giving up. When you replace bad habits with good ones, you'll notice transformations not only in your life, but also in your mind. Small daily actions like waking up early, exercising, meditating, or journaling can make you feel peaceful, liberated, and energized. Life is the culmination of repeated actions. Your habits determine the quality of your life. Remember, you are the one steering the boat on the river of time. The Stoic philosophy reminds us that the power to change doesn't lie in external circumstances, but within ourselves. Start with the smallest changes because even tiny habits can make a big difference. You can choose to let bad habits drag you down, or you can choose to free your mind and steer your life toward the shores of peace and meaning. Start today. You don't need to be perfect. Just take one small step at a time. Are you ready to change? If so, take action now to create a better version of yourself. Part 2. The habit of attachment to material things. Take a moment to observe your living space. From the decorative items on your desk, the overflowing wardrobe, to the long-forgotten items hidden in the corners of your home, how many of these are truly necessary for your life? How many of them do you keep just because you don't want to throw them away? Or because you believe that someday they might be useful? We often fail to realize that our attachment to material things, lifeless objects, is what burdens our minds. Like an invisible backpack that we carry, each item you cling to is a stone. The more objects you hold on to, the heavier your backpack becomes, making it harder to move forward on your life journey. Attachment to material possessions doesn't arise naturally. It stems from deep psychological reasons. Fear of loss, loss averse. Humans are wired to fear losing something more than they enjoy possessing it. This explains why we keep items that no longer serve a purpose, simply to avoid the discomfort of losing them. Memories and emotions. Many people can't let go of possessions because they tie them to memories or emotions. A worn-out shirt might have been a gift from a loved one, or an old toy might remind you of your childhood. Letting go of these items feels like losing a part of yourself. Misguided beliefs about happiness, society, and media often convince us that owning more, whether it's trendy clothing or the latest gadgets, leads to happiness. However, the more we chase material things, the emptier we often feel. Attachment to material things not only clutters your home, but also has profound negative impacts. A burdened mind. Every physical possession occupies space in your mind. Clutter isn't just in your environment, it's in your thoughts too. Anxiety and insecurity. When we attach ourselves to material things, we start to fear losing them. This creates a persistent sense of insecurity as we worry about maintaining and protecting these possessions. Hindered spiritual growth. When material things dominate our lives, our minds become constrained. We lose the space needed to focus on spiritual values like gratitude, compassion, and personal growth. Stoic philosophy teaches that attachment is the root of suffering. Great thinkers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius emphasize that we should not rely on things beyond our control, including material possession. Material things are merely tools, not the source of happiness. We must use them wisely instead of letting them control our minds and lives. If you feel burdened by material possessions, try the following steps to free your mind. Practice gratitude. Focus on what you already have rather than what you lack. Spend a few minutes each day writing down 3 things you're grateful for that have nothing to do with material possessions. Understand that happiness doesn't come from owning more, but from appreciating what you have. Embrace minimalism. Ask yourself, does this item truly add value to my life? Start decluttering by removing unnecessary items. Begin with small areas like your wardrobe or desk. Share and give away. Items that no longer serve you might hold great value for others. Donate or gift them to those in need. Giving not only lightens your material load, but also brings joy and fosters a sense of connection with your community. Create distance from external influences. Limit exposure to advertisements and media that promote consumerism. Take time to ask yourself, what do I truly need to live a happy life? A woman once kept dozens of boxes filled with old items in her house for over 2 decades. She didn't use them but couldn't part with them due to a lingering sense of regret and fear that she might need them someday. After years of feeling suffocated and unable to fully enjoy her living space, she decided to take a new approach. She began sorting through her belongings, asking herself, does this item still hold meaning for me? If the answer was no, she chose to donate or discard it. The result? She felt as though she had shed a massive weight. Not only did her home feel lighter, but her mind became clearer and more peaceful. When you release your attachment to material things, you create space for spiritual values, gratitude, peace, and joy from relationships and experiences. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, your happiness depends on the quality of your thoughts. Therefore, take care not to let meaningless things occupy your mind. True wealth lies not in owning more, but in feeling content with what you have. Life isn't a race to accumulate material things. Instead, it's a journey to discover peace and meaning. When you learn to let go of what's unnecessary, you not only free your physical space, but also open the door to inner freedom. Start today, declutter, practice gratitude, and share. You'll notice a remarkable change in both your mind and your life. You can't take material possessions with you when you leave this world, but you can leave behind the spiritual values that truly matter. Part 3. The habit of clinging to the past. Have you ever felt haunted by mistakes from the past? A time when you said the wrong words, missed an opportunity, or ended a relationship with regret? These memories sometimes become a burden, preventing us from fully living in the present. But let's take a realistic view. The past has gone and cannot be changed. It is like a closed book, yet we keep flipping through its old pages, searching for answers or feelings that no longer exist. Clinging to the past is not a way to heal. It is like carrying a heavy suitcase on the journey of life, exhausting you and draining your energy to move forward. The attachment to the past does not happen by chance, but is the result of complex psychological mechanisms. Fear of change. Humans often feel safe with the familiar, even if it is painful memories. Letting go of the past means embracing change, something many people find difficult. Guilt and regret. We often blame ourselves for poor decisions or missed opportunities. This guilt acts like chains tying your soul, preventing you from moving forward. Unhealed pain. Some painful memories, such as losing a loved one or a broken relationship, can leave deep scars. Instead of confronting and healing them, we choose to imprison ourselves within those memories. Unrealistic expectations. We often imagine that things should have been better. This creates an idealized version of the past, making the present seem dull and less valuable. When we cling to the past, the consequences are not limited to mental health, but also impact our overall well-being and quality of life. A stuck mind. Clinging to the past is like trying to live in a sealed room. You cannot open the door to new opportunities when your mind is always focused on what has already happened. Disconnection from the present. When your mind is obsessed with the past, you cannot focus on what is happening now. You miss out on meaningful moments in your present life. Hindered personal growth. Attachment keeps you from growing. Instead of learning from mistakes, you remain trapped in a cycle of regret and self-blame. Negative health impacts. Prolonged negative emotions, such as regret, anger, or sorrow, can lead to chronic stress, affecting both mental and physical health. Both Stoic philosophy and Buddhism emphasize the importance of living in the present and letting go of the past. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "You have the power to let go of any thought about the past. Focus on the present because it is the only thing you truly possess. Regretting the past is meaningless since it cannot be changed. Instead, we should learn from our mistakes and use them to do better in the present." In Buddhism, impermanence is a core concept. Everything in life changes, and nothing lasts forever. Clinging to the past only adds suffering to your mind. Buddha teaches that true liberation comes from letting go of what has passed and focusing on the present moment. Letting go is not an immediate action, but a process. Here are steps you can take to free your soul from the burden of the past. Accept that the past cannot be changed. The first and most important step is to realize that, no matter how much you regret it, the past is gone. Remind yourself, I cannot change the past, but I can control how I respond to it. Practice self-compassion. Instead of blaming yourself, treat yourself as you would a dear friend going through a tough time. Tell yourself that everyone makes mistakes, and it is a natural part of life. Forgive yourself and others. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting what happened, but freeing yourself from anger and pain. Remember, forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself, not others. Focus on the present. Practice mindfulness meditation or deep breathing exercises to bring your mind back to the present. When you focus on what is happening around you, the past begins to fade away. Learn from the past. Instead of being obsessed with mistakes, see them as valuable lessons. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience to become better? Write down your emotions. Journaling is an effective way to release emotions and reflect on the past from a more objective perspective. Write about how you feel, then write about the lessons you've gained from the experience. Tom, a successful entrepreneur, is a clear example of letting go of the past. In the early years of his career, Tom lost all his savings due to a poor business decision. For years, he drowned in regret and self-blame, feeling like a failure. One day, Tom decided to change. He began journaling to confront his emotions, practicing gratitude for the valuable lessons from his failure. Instead of seeing the past as a burden, he viewed it as motivation to improve himself. As a result, Tom rebuilt his career and now lives a more meaningful life than ever. When you let go of the past, you not only free yourself from suffering, but also open the door to freedom. You can focus on what truly matters in the present. Build positive relationships with yourself and others. Find peace in your soul. The past does not define who you are. What defines you is how you live and act in the present moment. Letting go of the past does not mean forgetting. It means learning to accept and move forward. It is a challenging journey, but the result is a lighter mind and a more meaningful life. Start with a small step. Forgive yourself. Accept what has passed and cherish the present. As Marcus Aurelius famously said, you live only in the present moment. Everything else is either past or future. Part 4. The habit of worrying about the future. Ask yourself, how many times have you lost sleep worrying about what might happen in the future? How many times has your mind been haunted by what-if scenarios? What if my job doesn't go well? What if I fail to reach my goals? Or even, what if everything goes completely wrong? Worrying about the future is natural because humans have a tendency to prepare for the unknown. However, when worry becomes a habit, it not only drains your energy but also prevents you from enjoying the present. Worrying is like sitting in a rocking chair. You move a lot, but you don't actually get anywhere. Worry doesn't appear out of nowhere. It is the product of survival mechanisms, psychology, and even modern culture. Fear of the unknown. The future is something no one can fully control. People fear what they don't know, and this triggers anxiety. Social pressure. We live in a world where success is often measured by outcomes. From an early age, we're taught to stay ahead to ensure a stable future, which inadvertently creates pressure to anticipate and control everything. Lack of self-confidence. Low self-confidence and fear of failure make us doubt our ability to handle future situations, leading to prolonged anxiety. A mind not grounded in the present. When you continuously focus on what hasn't happened yet, you lose the ability to recognize the beauty and value of the present moment. Worrying is not a solution. On the contrary, it brings many negative effects, both mentally and physically. Increased mental burden. Worry creates a negative loop in the brain, making it hard to escape from endless thoughts. This leads to mental exhaustion. Impact on health. Prolonged worry can cause chronic stress, leading to health problems like headaches, insomnia, digestive issues, and even an increased risk of heart disease. Hindered decision-making. When overwhelmed by worry, you lose the ability to think clearly and make important decisions. Weakened relationships. Worry doesn't just affect you. It also makes it easier to pass on this negative energy to those around you, causing tension in relationships. Stoic philosophy offers incredibly valuable advice for dealing with worry. One of its core principles is focus on what you can control and let go of what lies beyond your reach. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do not let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you must, with the same reason that you use to deal with the present." According to Stoicism, worrying about the future is meaningless because the future hasn't happened yet. Instead, you should focus on the present, the only time where you have the power to create change. Letting go is not about abandoning responsibility or preparation, but learning to focus on what truly matters in the present. Here are practical steps to free your mind from worrying about the future. Clearly identify what you can control. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go. If the answer is yes, focus on specific actions you can take right now. Practice mindfulness meditation. Meditation is a powerful tool to bring your mind back to the present. Spend just a few minutes each day focusing on your breath, and you'll feel peace gradually spreading within you. Simple exercise. Sit quietly, close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and slowly exhale. Pay attention to the sensation of your breath as it flows in and out of your body. Keep a journal. Write down your worries to release them from your mind. Then review. Are these things truly worth worrying about? Build a habit of gratitude. Every day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. This habit helps you focus on the good things happening instead of being consumed by vague worries. Set time limits for worrying. If you can't stop worrying, give it a time limit. For example, I'll spend 15 minutes each day thinking about the future. And after that, I'll focus on the present. Focus on action instead of thought. Worry often stems from inaction. Transform worry into concrete steps. For example, if you're worried about finances, create a savings plan or find ways to increase your income. Sarah, a young woman, is a testament to the power of letting go of worry. She was once consumed by anxiety about her career. She constantly questioned whether she had the ability to achieve her big goals. This worry caused her sleepless nights, low self-esteem, and even led her to reject new opportunities out of fear of failure. One day, Sarah decided to change. She joined a mindfulness meditation class where she learned to focus on her breath and live in the present moment. Instead of imagining worst-case scenarios, she began taking action, submitting job applications, joining new projects, and learning from each step. As a result, Sarah not only achieved her goals but also felt happier and lighter. What happens when you let go of future worry? The present becomes all you truly have. Only in the present can you take actions that lead to change. Life becomes more meaningful. When you cherish each moment, you'll find joy in small things, like a delicious meal, a meaningful conversation, or simply the peace within your soul. Inner strength develops. Living in the present helps you build confidence and resilience to face any situation rather than letting worry control you. Worrying about the future is a habit anyone can develop, but it is not your destiny. You can learn to let go and focus on what matters most. Start with small actions. Practice meditation, keep a journal, or simply spend time appreciating the good things in your current life. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, your happiness depends on the quality of your thoughts. Life is a journey, and each step is an opportunity to discover and refine yourself. Freeing your mind from negative habits is not just a process of change. It's a gift you give to yourself, the gift of peace, freedom, and a complete soul. Remember, every small step you take today contributes to building a more meaningful life tomorrow. Don't fear failure, and don't lose heart when faced with challenges, because the journey of change requires time, perseverance, and self-love. If you find this video valuable, spread this light by hitting the like button and sharing it with those who need it. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay connected with Peaceful Mind and Life channel as we continue exploring serenity and happiness together. Each time you click on our video, let it serve as a reminder. Peace is within you, waiting for you to stop, look inward, and listen. Finally, I wish you live fully, let go of what is no longer needed, and treasure each moment in the present. May you always find peace, happiness, and light within your soul. See you in the next videos.